Hi everyone. Take my glasses off for just a sec. See if we're on my computer here live. Happy Friday to everybody. Here we are. There we go. After a long week. Actually, it should have been a short week because I was off Monday as schools were closed for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. But still felt like a long week. I don't know about you guys, but if you were off Monday. I've got my computer over here, so you'll see me look to the side so I can see who's on. Oh good, I see that Sharon said hello. Hi Sharon, hi Mary, hi Kathy. Thanks for joining me, guys. If I don't say your name, I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch names as they scroll by, but if I miss you, it's not intentional. It's just that I'll catch you on the replay though. Hi Jill, happy Friday to you. Oh, Randy's here too. Yay, thanks guys. I don't often remember to post these things early enough, so this time I tried to do a little bit better job, but yeah. Randy, I hope appointments went well today. And everybody who had to work, I hope your day went nice. I saw some snowflakes blowing when I was at Keho and I looked at my window at one point, but then when I left work for the end of the day, I didn't see any snow anywhere, so I don't know if it just briefly snowed or what, but I didn't see much. So, well, hey Diane, happy to see you too, friend. I'll show you guys in just a second what I have planned for tonight. I wanted to show off a couple of the Saleabration items. Oh, and I meant to bring the catalogs in here. Oh, wouldn't you know it. I'm just a rock star salesman, aren't I? The whole reason demonstrators do these events is to show off products to sell, and guess who didn't bring her Saleabration catalog in? I think most of you that are watching are friends and customers of mine, and you would have our new mini catalog in your hands. It's called the January to June mini, and that's because it runs from January through June. And our annual catalog, our big catalog, runs the whole year, but then we have a special mini holiday catalog, fall and holiday catalog that comes out, and it ends at the beginning of January, and then we pick up with a new mini catalog, which tends to have more spring related things. And then we have the Saleabration catalog, which is really more of a pamphlet, and that is things that you can earn for free. A $50 order or a $100 order. Hi Debbie, I see you caught on. Hello there. So Saleabration items you can earn for free when you have a purchase, a qualifying purchase. So a $50 purchase will get you some free things. If you have a $100 purchase, there are some higher level things you can earn for free. And there's no limit to how many of those free items you can win. Hi Chris, thanks for joining me. So I will turn the camera down and show you some of the Saleabration items I'm using tonight. What I made. Hi Amy. Thanks for joining us too. I made a card and a matching little treat container for it. So I'll show you those things and you can see what you think. So give me a second while I turn the camera and swivel it downwards. Gotta go this way, this way. This is a gooseneck, but I can't always quite get it the way I like it, so it takes me just a second. So I should have warned you to like close your eyes while I did all that, in case it makes you dizzy. There we go. Looks like that might be on camera. I'll look, I always mention this, but there's a lag from what I can see over here on my laptop. I'll get an idea of what the view is like. There. They make these special, I don't know if they're programs that you can get where it'll swivel, swap seamlessly from one view to another, like an editing programmy kind of thing. But that's way too tech savvy for me. And to be honest, I don't do Facebook Lives often enough that I would want to invest a whole lot of money in that. So, let me see here. Hopefully people are hearing me. I think you would have told me by now if you didn't hear me, right? So, oh, Allie's on here too. Oh, good to see your face, Allie. We'll do a FaceTime maybe sometime soon, and I'll get to see your face again. Okay, let's turn this light on too, so things are a little brighter. That did make a huge difference, but okay, let me start with a treat box. So the Saleabration items I'm using tonight, there is this neat pack of paper called Oh So Ombre, I believe. And in it is ombre paper. It's really pretty. It's a 6x6 pack. But there's Blackberry Bliss, Granny Apple Green, Rococo Rose, and Bermuda Bay. Those of you who know Stampin' Up know that those are some of our lovely color names. We have very inventive names for our colors. I enjoy that. I think it's fun. And it didn't take long for me to learn all those color names when I joined on as a demonstrator. So that's what the colors are in this pack. Really pretty paper. So as the name would suggest, one side of the paper, well, not one side, one of the patterns in the paper is an ombre print. And on one side is one color, the other. And as I mentioned, there are 4 colors in this pack. And the other prints in this pack is this kind of, I don't know if you would call it a bubble. It looks to me like a bubble print. These little circles. But it's still ombre, lighter to darker. Isn't that pretty? So for our team meeting this month, I have a team of demonstrators who are signed up under me. And we are called the Polymer Princesses. And yay for my Polymer Princesses. Some of you guys are on here tonight, and I really appreciate you. A, being on my team, but B, following me and watching my things. So this week, or this month, at our monthly team meeting, I demonstrated making these cards, and I want to show them off real quick. I'm not making these tonight, ladies, so those of you on my team, don't worry that you're going to be bored seeing how to make something that we've already covered. But I used that paper. That's why I wanted to show this. I used that paper to make these cards, a set of 4 cards in different colors. And this is the Blackberry Bliss. And this is the Granny Apple Green. And this is a Bermuda Bay one I made. And here is a Rococo Rose one I made. And then I made another one in Bermuda Bay with that same print. So it's got the ombre paper, and then it also has that sheet that I kind of called like a bubble look or something. The ombre and then that print. So aren't those pretty? I think that's a lovely set. You could make something like this as a gift set for friends. And I used on those for the stamps, I used this stamp set called the Corner Bouquet. It is a Saleabration item, so you can earn this for free with a $50 order. Or you can earn that Oh So Ombre pack of paper, which is 48 sheets. So good sized pack. This stamp that I used is actually a couple stamps from this set called A Touch of Ink. This is a really nice set. It's got some lovely sentiments. These are much smaller than what they really are. The stamps themselves are bigger, so they're just shown at a reduced size on the cover. So looks like that. It's actually 2 sets of stamps. So this one you can get with a $100 order because it's such a big stamp set. But it's got this hummingbird, the outline and the fill, the leaf, the outline and the fill, the flower, the outline and the fill, and then the butterfly, the outline and the fill. And as I said, those sentiments. All of these sentiments came from here. Hello, friend. Best wishes. Thinking of you. And the butterfly that you see here and the flower that you see here came from this set. So I just wanted to show this off. That's a nice set, too. Would be worthy to have. So on these, the only thing I've used that isn't Saleabration was the Whisper White cardstock that you can buy. I use Stampin' Dimensionals. It's a little hard to tell on camera, but this is popped up with dimensionals. I used some pearls on a couple of them. I used some ribbon on a couple. This is the seam binding ribbon that we carry. So just kind of those extra things. And then, of course, the cardstock base in the colors that I mentioned. But you could, you know, qualify for getting some of those free items if you picked up some of the basic items. Then you could get the paper, or you might get the stamp set. Anyway, enough of that. If you want to know any more about Saleabration, let me know. If you end up wanting to purchase anything during Saleabration, which is the best time of year to buy, it runs through January and February, so we have through to the end of next month to get items. It's the best time of year to buy. Here is my host code for this month, and so if you, when you shop, we'll get to a checkout page where you can enter a host code. If you enter my host code for the month, then you can qualify to earn special rewards from me. In addition to your free stamp or Saleabration items, I also reward you with gifts from me, embellishments, cardstocks, different things like that. So anyway, that's that. Enough of that. I'll move these out of the way actually, so we can get to what else I wanted to show off. Oh, I missed that one. Okay, so that was our team meeting. So tonight's projects, oh, I know, I wanted to also say this real quick. I have a class tomorrow night that we're doing on Zoom, so it's a to-go class. People got their packets from me this week, and then we're going to meet on Zoom tomorrow night and do a class. I'm making a lovely long wall hanging, a vertical wall hanging, I call it, that is perfect for Valentine's Day, and it says love on it. And it's similar to the fall and the Christmas one I did earlier this year that people enjoyed. So that's tomorrow night. That class is closed, but I wanted to say that two of the other projects we're doing in that class is one of my calendar cards that I usually do every year. This year I really debated whether or not to do it because the shipping went up so astronomically high on these mini calendars that I use. Really went crazy, but I in the end decided to still do them. And so here is a calendar card that we're going to do in my class. It stands up like this, and I know with the angle of the camera you can't see that, so I'll turn it, but it's a stand-up easel type card. So it folds flat in an envelope, but then a person can set it out on their desk, on their table, and enjoy these little mini tear-off calendars. So as the months progress, you can just tear off the pages. But it says, make today ridiculously awesome. That's one of the stamp sets we used recently in another class of mine. So we're using it on here. And this paper is free Saleabration paper. I'll show you the pack of that because I'm using it tonight as well. And this is a little 3D treat mini box that we are making in the class. Oops, looks like I held that calendar off screen. I'm sorry about that. I'll pull it back in. Put it here so you can see. We're also making this treat pack. This one I'm not going to open. I've got it nicely tied with the bow. This is the one we're making in class, but here's a different version I made to show you guys tonight. And this uses free Saleabration paper. And when you open it, it also stands up. I should show you that first. Stands up like that, so it's perfect to set on a friend's table or desk or tuck in their door. You know, we're doing a lot of porch pickup things these days. But anyway, when you open it up, it's got a little baggie with Hershey Kisses in it. Isn't that cute? And it folds up and sets like that, as I said. But this is some beautiful paper from the same pack we're going to use tonight on my projects, Saleabration paper. So anyway, those of you that are on here that are participating in my class tomorrow night, now you've had a sneak peek of the thing we're going to make. And it's actually the one we're making tomorrow night. Looks like this, which I really, really love. So, and now you have to resist, those of you who've gotten your packets. Your Hershey Kisses are in there, so you don't want to eat those right now. But also in your package, I gave everyone a cute little Ferrero Rocher treat and some Valentine Kit Kats. So you can eat your Ferrero Rocher and you can eat your Kit Kats anytime you want, or you can save them for during our class. But keep the kisses for our project that we're going to make. Okay. I will move all of that aside now, and let's show you what we're doing tonight. So tonight I have a coordinating card with a treat pouch, or treat pack. So, let me show you two different versions. Here's one version. I made this card. You'll see that this is that Oso Ombre paper I was just talking about. It's lighter at the bottom and darker as it goes up. This is that Bermuda Bay color with a layer of black, very thin border of black, and then on a thick Whisper White card base. And this paper is from a new pack that is also free with qualifying purchase on Saleabration. This pack of paper is called Flower and Field, and there's some, as you would expect, some beautiful floral papers in it. So I'll turn it over and show you. This one you just saw we used on the calendar card that I just demonstrated. I'm using this one tonight, this very small, really pretty floral print. Then there's this bigger print. You saw that on the other treat pouch I just showed you. Did that one. Then there's, this one's really pretty. I can't wait to use this on a project. Isn't that lovely? So pretty. And what's the last? Oh, who doesn't love daisies with a black background? Isn't that pretty? I like that one a lot. Need to use it. And then this one, of course, has got some stunning blues in it, so that one's pretty as well. And then the backs of them all have a nice coordinating color to use. So anyway, this pack can be gotten for free. In fact, you can only get it for free with a Saleabration purchase. If you order Saleabration and you earn it for each $50, when you go to check out at the end, it'll say you have earned so many Saleabration items, like you've earned 2 Saleabration items, and you get to choose which ones you want from that pamphlet and put those numbers in. So there, that's that paper. So the first one I did, I made this card. I followed a sketch that I saw using strips like this, and I thought, well, that was pretty. And this die cut is from the new Pretty Perennials set, which is in that mini catalog I mentioned. There's a stamp set, and then there's some coordinating dies that go with it. And I used those dies for this flower and this kind of, I don't know, accent piece that goes in the flower. I'll pull it up here. That coordinates with this paper. See how that just matches so nicely? And then I made the little treat box. I'll hold it up like this. So it's got a scallop top. We're going to use a scallop tag topper to make that, and some of the pretty paper around it. This cardstock is Flirty Flamingo, and then I've got a ribbon closure. I'll show you what's inside once I open it. It holds Ghirardelli chocolates, because who doesn't want Ghirardelli chocolates, right? So I've got 2 in here. I think you could get a 3rd in there. I think you could for sure. So I need to stop and buy more, because I'm going to give these treats. When I make these things, I actually use them. So I'm going to give these to people, customers, friends, co-workers. Let me put the ribbon back through there. Yeah, actually, I'll just set it aside while we make one. But anyway, so it can hold 3 Ghirardellis. That's that one, the coordinating treat and card for birthday. Then I made a version that looks like this. A little bit more Valentine-ish, but not totally Valentine. I used the stamp set. Did I move it? Here it is, Heartfelt stamp set, which is in our annual catalog. So the big, thick catalog has this set called Heartfelt. I've used this one. I used this sentiment here on the card that says, being friends is better than eating candy, but let's do that too, it says. I'll pull it up a little closer. Hopefully you can see that. I think that's a fun sentiment. This is from that same stamp and die set I just showed you called Pretty Perennials. So if you ordered the stamp and die set, you'd be well on your way to getting a free Saleabration item, either the pattern paper or the ombre paper or a number of other things. Especially then thick Whisper White for the card base. And then I've colored some pearls. These are pearls, and I've used my Stampin' Blends to color them. So that one coordinates with this little one, this little treat pouch. So I won't open this one. It's the same as the other one I showed you. It opens up and you put Ghirardellis. You can put other things too, but I thought Ghirardellis is great. And this I stamped So Lucky to Have a Friend Like You, which is from here. And then I stamped that heart in Flirty Flamingo, but I stamped it off to get a lighter color. So then that's from here as well. So this is a nice set. I mean, you can use this for weddings, just anniversary, love, but of course Valentine's as well. I don't give a lot of Valentine's things out, but I do give friendship kind of Valentine's things. So that's the coordinating there. Oh, and this is the red, real red, let me remember what it was called, sheer ribbon. This is carried over from our holiday catalog. If you took one of my events, my Christmas event where we did the all-day craft retreat and we did poinsettia things, you would have gotten some of this lovely ribbon. It ties real nicely, and that's what I've used on this one. Okay. So there, you've seen the coordinating card and pouches, or treat packs. So tonight I thought I'd show you how to make one of these. And I've already cut the stuff and I'll put together this card. This time when I make this same card, I'm going to use a different embellishment on it. Try something different on it here. Okay, we've got that. So we'll make those real quick. It won't take too long. But I think we'll do the 3 treat pouch first. And let me get my notes so that I don't give you wrong dimensions. Okay. So I'm going to use thick whisper white. On this one, like I said, I used Flirty Flamingo. Our cardstock is nice and thick, but our white cardstock, we have it in 2 different thicknesses. One is called thick basic white, or it used to be whisper white thick. Or if it just says basic white or whisper white, then it's not very thick, and it doesn't work as well for a 3D package. Your better option is to get the thick. Or if you use the colored one, as I said, that's already nice and thick, works great for 3D. So for the treat pouch, you need a piece that's 5 by 8.5. Our cardstock comes 11 by 8.5, so you can get 2 of these out of 1 piece of cardstock because it's 5 by 8.5. Okay, let me get my Stampin' Trimmer up because we need to do some scoring. So on the short side, so this would be what they call the short side. This would be what we call the long side. So on the short side, we're going to score it at 2, 3, and 4. Okay, 2, 3, and 4. And then on the long side, we're going to score it. This is pretty easy to remember. 2, 4, 6, and 8. Two, 4, 6, and now I need to extend my arm so I can get to the 8. Okay, that's all the scoring you gotta do. And then, before I do my cutting, I'm going to burnish my score marks. Makes it easier to see where to cut. So if you don't have a bone folder, and it's a great thing to have. I use a bone folder all the time. In fact, I have 2 sitting here right now, and I've got a couple more in the other room, so I have lots of bone folders. But if you don't have a bone folder, you need something kind of hard to push. I've seen people use like a acrylic block. I've got stamps on mine, but it doesn't work as well in my opinion, but you could make do like this and still at least get it done. But when you can pick up a bone folder, they're helpful. I'll go the other way. There we go. Now, it's a little hard to see on white, I know, but I'm going to hold it up here. So we've got different panels. Using some smaller scissors that are easier for you to cut, we're going to cut away this rectangle down here, right on the score line. and cut it away like that. But then I also like to kind of miter this just a tad. Take a little pie-shaped piece out of it, like that. Okay, and then we're going to cut away these two top ones here, so that we're going to end up with just this little one in the middle. So I'm going to turn it around this way so I can see it better to cut. And I'm mitering that just a tiny bit as well. Not a lot, but just a tiny bit. So you end up with this little tab over here. Okay. Move those out of the way. Then I have to cut up the bottom of each of these. 1, 2, 3. Okay. This is actually going to be the bottom of the box. It's going to be quite thick, the bottom, so you don't have to worry about the weight of the chocolate. Not that Ghirardellis are very heavy, but I'm saying it's going to be 4 thicknesses of this, so it's going to be nice and thick, or yeah, strong, thick. I'm going to cut out that score mark I didn't quite get right on there. Okay, there. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut out up these same ones here. So I'm turning over and I'm going to cut up these. Past the first score mark to the second. A lot of cutting, but not hard. I wish I didn't have a lag over there. It looks like you guys can see what I'm doing. There. So I've cut up all of those. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I'm going to cut away part of this one. Where that first score mark is, I'm going to get rid of that. And then I'm going to skip, and then I'm going to go and do it again on this one. I'm going to cut out that just a tad. Then I'm going to skip. Okay? So, I know it's a little hard to see on white, but it looks like that. Let's see. If I put this under it, maybe that'll help it show up better. So you've got the 4 pieces, this little tab, here, 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 here. Okay? Now, here is where we are going to do that scallop tag topper. I know a lot of people have this. It's a very popular item, and it's been around many years. So this is a handy thing to have. I use it not just on tags and not just on 3D things, but you can use them on cards as well. But I do use it a lot on 3D items. So to use this, I've got to fold this. So I'm going to fold in that little tab and then fold this flap over. Then I'm going to go backwards and fold and fold. See how that is? I'll show you. Fold it, and then go backwards and forwards. And that's so I can slide it in here. Now this, the width of this is 2 inches. So if I'm not quite exactly on those score marks, it might be slightly over. I'm going to trim just a tiniest bit off here so it'll fit in better. See if we've got it now. Yep, there we go. So if you feed it in there all the way up until it stops, and then turn it over and check and see, did your white come all the way up to the top here? Whoops. There. So if it did, then you're good. This is what it's going to punch out. I'm punching through 2 pieces of thick Whisper White, so it's going to feel really hard, but it's going to punch them out. Here's the pieces that cut off. And now I've got that decorative in on those. There, see? Pretty cool. Now, before I put the box together though, I want to decorate it. So I've already cut, to save time, these little tiny pieces of DSP. It doesn't take much DSP to decorate this, as you can see. So a whole sheet of paper, I don't know how many you could make with a whole sheet of paper. Wouldn't take much. These are 3/4 inch wide by 1 3/4 long, and you need 4 of them. So I'm just going to put those on real quick. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to scan over here real quick. Any questions? No? Okay, good. Oh, and the back of that red paper is this kind of pretty stripe. That would be lovely. My friends that follow me and know me know that I like to use a little tweezer when I'm putting things together. You don't have to, but I do. And I love to use liquid glue because it allows me to kind of shimmy the stuff in place a little bit better once I set it there. And in a matter of just a few seconds it dries and it's no longer movable, but initially it's a little bit movable, and that can be helpful. Like right there, it just moved a little bit, and I could put it right back in the spot. Who likes this pretty little pattern? These tiny little flowers, aren't they pretty? They're kind of delicate, really pretty, I think. Let me see. Looks like the comments are no longer loading for me, so I'll have to refresh it maybe or something and catch the comments. But I can see people are on there and comments are made. I don't think it's keeping up with them. So anyway, so also I'm going to stamp it before I put it together because it's pretty impossible to stamp it once you've done that. So I'm going to, when I put it together though, it's going to be, this tab piece is going to go to the back. So this is going to be my front. There's the tab. This one will actually be my front. And I'm going to do it, I think I'm going to do it the same as I did this one, where it says, "So lucky to have a friend like you." And I will give this away around Valentine's Day. What do they call it? Galentine's Day, when it's about your gals, your friends, your girlfriends. So I've already got this loaded on a block from when I did the other. And the ink I'm using is Real Red. So I'm just going to do this. And try not to get my head in it. I always say that every time, but let's see if I can get this here. Push down. Give it just a second for the ink to soak into the paper. There we go. It's lucky to have a friend like you. And I do already have the heart loaded up on a block too, so let's get that out. Oops. And the heart I used Flirty Flamingo, and I even stamped it off once, so we would say second generation. So here's one, stamp it off, and stamp it down there, because I didn't want the heart to be so bold. There we go. Okay. And then, if you wanted, on the back side, you could stamp to and from. If you felt like you wanted to write on there who it was going to and who gave it to them. You know, especially like if you were doing a porch drop-off or something. During these days of COVID, you know, a lot of us are picking up and dropping things off to people without necessarily seeing them in person. So if that were the case, I would definitely use my to and from stamp on there. In fact, I think I will, because I've got it sitting out here anyway, so why not? I've got it loaded on this block. I'm going to move that. I don't want to lose that. And I think I will do that in Flirty Flamingo as well. Lighter shade there. And I'm going to do it on what would be the back side then. There we go. To from. My coworkers, they're not always at their desk when I am, and so this way I can pop it on their desk and be done with that. Okay. Now we're ready to put it together. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on this tiny little tab and then fold it over and line it up. So let me get some out. I'm going to use my silicone craft mat. It keeps my desk from getting all adhesive when I remember to use it. Do I remember to use it every time? No, not really, but there we go. And I'm using a strong adhesive on here. You could use tear tape. You could use our new Stamp Seal Plus. I've got some old fast fuse there I'm using. You could use the wet glue, the Tombow. Just a regular tape runner may or may not be strong enough. This is not a super heavy, big project, so it could be fine. But so I put that together. There, that's on the back now, see? There. So we just need to do the bottom.
So since this is my front, I want my front flap to go last. So I'm going to fold in my side flaps, my bottom flap, the back, and now I'll put my front one last. And here I will use a liquid glue. Okay, put that like that. And then I'm going to, since I can't push against it very good, I'm going to take my bone folder, another good use for a bone folder, and just rub along the inside. And before you know it, that Tombow glue will be holding it good. Okay, let's see. Take these out. I'm going to have to buy some Valentine looking Ghirardellis. So, okay, here's my front. I'm going to put my, like I said, it'll hold two easily. I really think you could get one more in there. And then these two just fold down. This goes together. And I put ribbon through there. Let's use that red again. Sheer red, real red sheer. Probably about, how long is that? Maybe 6 inches. 6 inches is pretty generous. You might end up trimming it down. Depends on how much you like to fiddle with ribbon, if it's too short, versus how much you want to conserve of ribbon. So, but 6 inches will give you more than enough. And then, like I said, you can trim it down. And it's up to you how you like your loop to look, whether you go from the front or the back. Either way works. But I just loop it, go through, take both ends, pull one, pull the other. This is another reason you want to use the thick. If you use basic white cardstock, when you pull this, you want to be careful. It would be really easy to rip through there. But when you've used thick like this, you don't really have that problem. So now these are, like I said, long because there, trim that down, and there we go. Easy peasy. Cute little gift. You could, as I said, get 2 of these out of 1 piece of cardstock. It takes very little DSP, just a little bit of Stampin' and ink, and whop, you've got it done. You could make several of these pretty quickly, and what a cute little fun gift. Now I'll show you how I put that card together to coordinate with it. I should turn it this way so you can see. Put my hand behind it there. So that's what it looks like. Easy peasy. Okay, card. I've already done most all of the cutting. You need you need 4 1/4 by 11 thick whisper white, scored at 5 1/2, which is the halfway mark. If I don't put stuff away, I'm going to end up losing things. I always do. If I let it get over, let the chaos overrun you. Then, the only thing I didn't cut ahead of time so I could show you is that ombre paper. Again, it's dark, and then it goes to a light gradient. And on the back, it's the opposite. The dark and light are at opposite ends, but Bermuda Bay. And that's what I used on that other card I showed you. Let's cut this. And it's going to be cut at 3 7/8 and 5 by 5 1/8. And those measurements, so 5 1/8 this way. So I'm going to go to 5 1/8. And the reason I did 8ths is because that gives me just the smallest of black border, which is a nice accent but doesn't overpower. So 5 1/8. By 3 7/8. So go over to 4 and just back it off 1/8, and you're at 3 7/8. And these, don't get rid of these because you can use these on another project. Okay. So, again, this is when I really, really use the liquid glue, because when I've got a very narrow border that I'm going to leave, the liquid glue is your best friend. Oh, and it's not coming out. There we go. I was going to say, don't die on me now, buddy. I'll have to go get another one. Okay, there we go. Start on one side, above and below, and then, like I said, you can shimmy just a little if you need to. There we go. Just the smallest of border around there. Okay. Now, I put it so that the white, or the lighter end, is towards the bottom. I did get a little liquid glue on the front here. Let me use my glue eraser, adhesive eraser. If you don't have one of these, man, you can't make cards. There we go. But before I adhere that, let's lay these out. So here's the example I did. So these little pieces of DSP are 3/4 inch by 3 5/8, and they'll just fit perfectly, like so. And then one up there. So I'm just getting an idea of where they're going to lay so I can stamp. And I think, well, let's see. I think I'll do happy birthday. No, what am I doing on this one? The first one I did that. Yeah, no, I'm going to do happy birthday on this one because I want to use this as my embellishment. And that's too long to use that one. So let's do happy birthday. Here it is. Make sure it's clean. And, oh, did I put my black away? I did. Okay. Now, moment of truth, because I'm stamping, and people don't always remember you can do this. You can stamp directly on DSP. You don't have to just stamp on cardstock. There we go. Now I can lay these down. And when you do these, you could use tape runner or you could use liquid glue. It's up to you. But I definitely use my tweezer again as I lay things out and get it lined up like I like it. I can kind of hover over. Come off. There we go. Isn't that pretty, those little flowers? I know I said that before, but I really like those little flowers. They're so delicate and pretty. Just a bit between. Come up here. I'm trying to gauge this so that I use about the same amount of space between there. And then this, I mentioned that this came from that Pretty Perennials. Oh, what do you know? That ran out. Pretty Perennials dies. And this circle is just a 1.5 inch circle punch. But you could use a really pretty stitched circles. That would be lovely too. I was just going for something fast. Punches are so quick, you know. And then I'll put a dimensional behind it. Pop it here. I did put Winka Stella on this. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Probably not. Now this is ready to go on my card base. If I had, you know, made a mistake or something, once I've already put it on my card base, there's no going back. But since I know it's all to my liking, I can put it on the card base. And I have to worry. And can you even believe the cards? I don't have any ribbon on these cards, which is rare for me. I do like ribbon on cards. But there we go. There. Now I just need to embellish it with some gems. And look, I did get adhesive there. So what I used, I said on here, was the pearls. And I colored them with my Stampin' marker, or my Stampin' blends. But you could leave them as white pearls if you wanted. Let me put one over it and see if I like it as white. No, I think I'm going to color them, just because I can. But if you don't have Stampin' blends to color them, or other alcohol markers, you could use rhinestones, We have new black matte enamel dots that would be pretty also, especially because black is such a focus on this. So those would be lovely. I only have one pack of them on hand, and I have more on order. My team members are all getting a pack as a gift, so I don't want to use the one pack I have on hand since they are going to be getting them. So there's that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of those and use it as the center for the flower. And then 2 more. There we go. Look, that one was still wet when I picked it up. Wonder if I can dab it. The alcohol markers dry pretty fast, but there. Ta-da. Easy. There. So, bring it back in. So I have a little treat pouch to go with it, and a card that coordinates. Put some chocolates in that. I'll bring this up closer to the camera so you can see. I may even add one more pearl. I don't know. There and there. And I use Blackberry Bliss. I mean, which seems like an odd color, but look how it looks so good on there. That just color works so well, I think. But if you didn't have Blackberry Bliss, you know, you could use Real Red. I don't know. Anyway, here it is. What do you think? You like it? This is Saleabration paper. This is Saleabration paper. Yeah. It's always fun to get new paper. So, thanks, guys. If you like and share my videos, I always do a giveaway, a drawing later in the week. I give people a chance to catch it on replay. But if you like, and then when you share this, I like it if you share it to your main page, because the whole idea, of course, is so that new viewers find out about me and maybe become potential customers, because I like what I do and I want to be able to keep doing this, and so having customers is kind of a crucial part of that dream of being able to continue this Stampin' Up journey. So like and share to your page, and I'll do a drawing, and the person who wins the drawing will win their choice of either the reddish colored card and treat box, or the one that's Bermuda Bay, which is lovely. Bermuda Bay is truly one of my favorite colors, so if you like this one better, you can have this. But you'll get your choice, whoever's name I draw. And remember, if you do any shopping, if you use my host code, I really appreciate it. It allows me to give you extra special treats from me. For example, if you end up ordering a big enough amount that you get something for free from Saleabration, you can count on me giving you something nice to go right with that. Okay, now I'm going to look at comments and see if there's any questions I can add. Oh, thank you guys. I see people sharing. I really appreciate that. The only way we can reach more people, you know? So thank you. Thanks, Diane. She said, very nice ensemble. I appreciate that. I thought it was nice to have something that coordinates. Stampin' Up is all about things that coordinate. So if you can do a treat pouch that goes with a card, even so much the better. Let's see. Oh, I should tell you that I'm planning a Stampin' Up bingo for February, which I better start getting a date settled. I think I put out here on my page a while back, I threw out a date and asked if people were interested. I need to go back and check and see if that was something people thought might work, because I would like to do a Stampin' Up bingo. If you do a bingo during Saleabration, that's kind of fun, because if you order things, of course, you get those extra rewards. And then I'm going to see about potentially an in-person retreat. Our last retreat we did was an online retreat, and that's fine, but those in-person ones are nice too. So if I could do something that was a combo, an in-person retreat, but also do it as a Zoom retreat at a setting for people, you know, at the place that I'm at, you know, that would be fun too, so that I could kind of fulfill both opportunities for people. So looking at doing that. Probably my idea on that is the end of February or the first part of March. So some thoughts there. You can let me know if you have any thoughts about it. Sharon, thank you. Oh, you like both? You mean both versions? Thanks, Sharon. I can't remember if everybody on the team saw when I did those cards at that I did at our last team meeting. I think Debbie Herrick might have only been the one who didn't see him, but you know, that used that ombre paper that is so stunning. So, okay. Any questions? Anybody need me to repeat dimensions? Mary, yes, good. I'm glad you're interested in bingo again. Yep, bingo is always fun. Fun to have projects to do. Fun to have opportunities to win prizes. You know, who doesn't like to win, right? So. Tomorrow night we'll do our class for those who registered for that. That'll be fun. That'll be on Zoom. The same Zoom number or room that I usually use, so make it easy for people. Let me go back here. Let me see if it'll show me more comments that I'm missing, because I probably have a question down there that I never saw. Oh, you know, Facebook is really... I hear everybody complain about Facebook, but there's for good reason. Seriously, it will not show me more comments. And it says there's 47 comments, but it only shows me the last 4. Jill says yes to bingo. Good. Diane, yes, dimensions of both, please. Oh, sure, sure. So on the little treat pouch, Diane, the cardstock is 5 by 8.5, and then you score it. Well, here, I don't know if you guys can read my notes. This won't make a lot, but here's where you would score it. On the short side, you score it at 2, 3, and 4 inches, and on the long side, you score it at 2, 4, 6, and 8. Oh, there's a lot of glare. There we go. I'm seeing it on the page there. A lot of glare, but. And the DSP. DSP stands for Designer Series Paper. In Stampin' Up lingo, that's what we call any pattern paper like these ones here. DSP. They are 3/4 inch by 1 3/4. And you need 4 of them, 1 for each side. So that's the dimensions for this cute little box. And of course, this will be on Facebook, so you can rewatch it. And what I like to do, and I don't always remember to do, is upload these to my blog. So if you follow my blog, and I sure hope you do, you can always go back to there, because it's hard to go back a few weeks later on Facebook and find something that you wanted. But if you sign up to follow the blog and you go to it, it's pennyforyourcrafts.wordpress.com, I believe. Then you can always find things there, I think, easier than on Facebook for sure, by a long shot. So that was the dimensions for the treat pouch. The dimensions on the card was the card base, which I used Whisper White, is 11 by 4 1/4. And the black layer is 4 by 5 1/4. And then the ombre DSP, that's the base one there, is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So it's just 1/8 of an inch smaller than the black layer. And then the Field and Flower Designer Series paper, that's these ones here, these strips, both from the same pack, remember. They are 3/4 by 3 5/8, and you need 3 of them. And then you can embellish them with whatever you want. On this one, I think I showed you, I used a different one here. You just need something kind of longer, you know, depending on how wide your sentiment. Now, if you just do something over here that says simply hello, then you've got more space to play with over here. Just depends. On this one, my sentiment was pretty wide, so I didn't have a lot of space to play with here. And then just a few embellishments of choice. Oh, and one thing I did, let's see, on these two, I need to do it on the one I just made. You know how we cut DSP off. Let's see here. These strips, we cut these off from here. Then you can use something like that on the inside of your card. So, this one, I always say this, it just carries over a little bit of the front to the inside. On this one, I actually took that and I stamped it with the little flower that was in that perennial set that I showed you. So I took the little flower, but you could do it with the little heart. You could just stamp the heart along there. Any little thing to stamp on here just to give it a little added pizzazz. I'll show you. I'll do it real quick. So, where's the red here? I think I'll use the flirty. Let's see what the flirty flamingo would look like. It'll be pretty light, but I think I want it to be a little bit lighter. So I'll just randomly stamp on here. I don't want it to look too perfect. I want it to go off the sides. There we go. I'll hold it up close as soon as I get it in. Do a little liquid glue on the back. Tweezers. Can't craft without them. These self-locking ones, I wish Stampin' Up sold them because I'd like to have a couple more pairs, but they don't. Stick it at the bottom. Just a little something there. See, it kind of carries that floral idea into here. Or you could cut another strip of this pattern paper and put inside there. That would be pretty too. Anyway, decorate that. And then on the card, it's envelope. You could decorate with a piece of this. In fact, I should do that. I'll do it off camera and I'll post it on my blog. But I'll take a piece of this paper and decorate the envelope flat. I'll show you. Wrong envelope. Flap here with this same paper, and then it really coordinates. Let me see. I just don't know how fast I can do it, and you guys are probably tired of being on here. But what you do is you take, I'll do it real quick. People who want to be gone can be gone, but if you don't, you can do this part with me. Of course, you don't do this if you're low on DSP, but I got lots of DSP, so why not use it? And just put it on there. Not over the fold, but up to the fold right here. Turn it over and just trim. Right up to the edge of the envelope. Longer scissors would be better for this, probably. When you're going long cuts like that, these little scissors take a while, but it'll work in a pinch, right? And if you miss a little, you can always go back and... There we go. So now you've got a coordinating envelope to go with your card, to go with your little 3D project. Isn't that sweet? Sweet! There we go. Sharon, we love bingo. Good, I've got some people who are interested in bingo. Oh, you're very welcome for the dimensions, Diane. And you know you could always call me my friend and I'll help you through it. I don't know if you own this tag topper. I think maybe you do. It's a handy little thing to have, so if you don't, keep that in mind. But I've used it on many a project. I don't know. I worry that they will probably retire it because it has been around for several years, and eventually they do that, and I'll be sad when it goes away. But for now, I'm going to use it and enjoy it. So there's that. I'm putting away my adhesive. All right. What's everybody doing rest of tonight? I am going to go watch more Bridgerton. I posted, was that last weekend, that I was in love with Bridgerton? I'm a Jane Austen fanatic. I mean, crazy. I love those period drama pieces. Not just Jane Austen, but she's my favorite. And so I was watching Bridgerton, but I made myself not binge it all at once. Most everybody who replied, a lot of you ladies here, said you watched it and you binged it. You did it like all in a day or a weekend. I had to use self-restraint because I wanted to hold some back so I'd have it to look forward to. So when we're done, I'm going to go out there and watch a little more Bridgerton. I get to pay myself for having self-restraint and waiting. Now I get to watch more. So, well, thanks, guys. I hope you have a good weekend. Enjoy it. Looks like Sunday or Monday we're going to get snow, so enjoy it before that happens. I don't know. Or are we getting it tomorrow? I have to look and see. But oh well, it is January, right? Thank you for tuning in. I know it was a long time, or a long hour, but I wanted to show you how to make both of those, and then I added that envelope. So remember to like and share, and I will draw from, looks like so far I've had 4 people who shared it. It tells me who shared, and then I can go look at the share and see where it is. So I'll enter your names in the drawing when I do it. So take care, everyone. Be crafty this weekend if you can. If you're too busy and you can't, understand. But crafting is therapeutic, so I'll catch you another time. Adios.